Welcome back to For Sure, the podcast where we dive into business, health, wellness, and everything else. Today's app is brought to you by LifeSpark.bio, your go-to for science-backed men's health solutions, which Sophie and Emma probably doesn't apply to them. But I'm excited to introduce our guests, Emma and Sophie Woodman. Emma is a global publicity professional at Sony Pictures Entertainment. You might have heard of it, bringing stories to life on the big screen. Sophie is a designer and product development coordinator at One Gray Day, blending creativity with fashion. They also, more importantly, happen to be my childhood neighbors from Pasadena. We also went to elementary school together. Shout out High Point. So to start, Emma, can you introduce Sophie? And then Sophie, can you introduce Emma?
Yeah. Well, Sophie is my little sister. She's 5.5 years younger than me. So we kind of had a decent age gap growing up. But I think, we got closer the older we got. And yeah, she's a baller. She knew she wanted to do fashion from the beginning and she just rolled with it. And she's just super talented. She's the best.
And Emma is my big sister. And to say it again, she is super talented as well. She has also known what she loves from a young age. And it's so cool watching her do all these cool things with work and, talk to all of these cool celebs and do what she loves. And I live every day trying to be like my big sister.
Wow. That's beautiful. I feel like we can incorporate that and we can just use both of those for your respective wedding speeches someday.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, so we grew up in Pasadena. Shout out Pasadena. What was it like growing up with sisters? I only have brothers. And so for us, it was like you just get mad and then you just punch them and then you get over it.
I mean, well, okay, first of all, you guys are the younger siblings, right? So like you kind of have that younger sibling dynamic in common. But I feel like, I don't know, I'm super into sibling dynamics. I don't know why, but I feel like there's something so much to be said about your role in like the sibling dynamic. But I feel like I'm very much like older sibling vibes.
For sure. And I'm lucky enough that she paved the way for me so that I know, the lines and where they stop and where they start. So fortunately, she was the trial and error.
Like, I also feel like with that said, like growing up with just like a younger sister, like I never really had much like interaction with like boys like growing up. And then like I went to all girls school. So like I feel like that's kind of different. Like I feel like I had to learn socialization with like, boys like once I was like in school. So like that was definitely different than probably your experience growing up with your two older brothers.
It's very different where she did the all girls school and I was like, not doing that, need to make my own path, which also I think is a big part of like having siblings too, is you either want to like do exactly what they do and follow their path, or you're like, I think I want to do my own thing and I want to go to a different high school and I want to go to a different college and have my own things and do my own thing.
I mean, I feel like the classic archetype in my mind would be older sister would be more responsible, achievement-oriented caretaker, right? Younger sister would maybe be like more risk-taking, maybe more attention-seeking, which is definitely me.
That tracks.
Does that track for you guys?
Yeah.
Sophie has elements of responsibility. I think we kind of balance each other off in that respect. Like when I have a weak moment, she'll have a strong moment of like responsibility and then like vice versa. But I think we're both responsible, but she's definitely the more outgoing one. And I don't know if it's a thing, but I feel like the younger siblings are always the tallest, and that tracks thus far. She's taller than me, but I don't know if that tracks with you guys. Are you the tallest?
I'm barely the tallest.
But I feel like that's
but I make sure that they know that.
It's like the Kendall Jenner's not the youngest, but like, I don't know. That actually did not. Yeah. Was not a good.
No, I literally Googled her today. She's like 5'11".
Yeah. Right. And all of her family is like much shorter than she is. So I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. But the negative of being a youngest is the youngest sibling is more likely to get sick more often. Fun fact. Look it up. Supposedly. I don't know why. It literally is younger siblings are more susceptible to illness.
I would say Sophie's sick more often, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's because you're younger. You're I don't know, you're not the OG strain. You're like you're not like the OG COVID. You're like Omicron or something.
The beta strain?
Yeah, we're the beta strains. And then I'm like the freaking Delta strain. No, that makes sense. Okay, and then guys, so you guys went to High Point, both went to Shaw,
no,
right?
I went to LaSalle.
No, okay. That's right. You went to LaSalle. That was a test you passed. Well, because I was going to ask, like, all girls schools, because I went to an all boys high school, which I loved. But
Go Cubs.
I mean, how do you feel about all girls schools generally?
Also, going back to like what I said about how she was able to like trial and error a little bit for me, was I saw her go through that experience. And like, while I think it was the perfect fit for her, I just could tell it was not the fit for me. I've always had like lots of guy friends growing up, and I knew that I wanted a more diverse environment. And I think LaSalle was the perfect choice because of that.
Yeah, she wanted to do her own thing for sure, which whatever. At first I was like, what's wrong with, whatever. She just wanted to do her own thing. Respect.
Totally. And then like childhood, we grew up on the same street. Would you guys ever move back to Pasadena? Like long term when you have babies, if you want babies?
Good question. Yeah, the whole if and when. You go first, Soph.
I've honestly thought about this a lot because I've always wanted to be super close to family. And I, would love to have a big family because we never really had a big family growing up. And so I wanted to be close to Emma and my parents. And then my parents are throwing around moving to Ventura. I'm like, neither of our career paths allow us to move to Ventura. So at that point, it's like, we would just have to decide where we want to live, independently from that. And I honestly think Pasadena can be a very toxic environment. It's like, I don't know if this is a hot take. I love it.
That is a hot take.
But it's just like growing up, we did NCL. And like, while it's a great thing and charity, this national charity league, while charity is like the focus, with young girls being at that age where it's not necessarily like nice is everybody's goal, it kind of, takes away from what we're doing, which was the charity work. And it really proved how many private schools there are in Pasadena, sometimes it can be a little bit competitive. And I found that going to High Point and then LaSalle, it was kind of more neutral. Whereas like some of the other high schools, there was just a little bit more competition aspect involved. I don't know if that's a hot take.
So you're structuring where you're going to move like around like schools, like you're thinking about schools
and family.
Fair. I think LA's home, but I think I'll probably move like West Side. And probably like, I don't know. I just don't think Pasadena is for me long term, but like, as long as we're in the same like area, city, greater Los Angeles area, like I feel like that's fine. But yeah.
Totally.
As long as I can drive to her house and drop my kids off at her place and be like,
exactly.
Hi, that works for me.
Totally. But according to the internet, you ready for this? Top 5 cities straight from ChatGPT to raise your kids in Southern California. 1, Arcadia. 2, Palos Verdes. 3, Claremont. 4, Manhattan Beach. 5, Glendora. That's the most random list I've ever heard of in my life.
Palos Verdes tracks.
Arcadia tracks. San Marino, if it was there, that would track. They have great schools. That tracks.
Yeah, that tracks to me. Okay, so then we leave Pasadena, we go off to college. Best college mem. I got to hear it from the both of you. Broad question, but you can take it any way that you want.
Me? I mean, well, first thing that comes to mind is going abroad. I lived in Prague for 4 months in my junior year. That was like sick. But in terms of like shenanigans that I was up to in college, I mean, when I ended up in a grilled cheese truck at a graduation. It's okay. No, we all have fun after graduation. I went a little too hard and my location was tracked to inside a grilled cheese truck where I was talking to the grilled cheese makers. I ended up inside of their truck. So yeah, that's
what time of the day was this? And
the sad part is that she's like 16 and it was not my finest moment, but
it was a good memory. It was a good memory.
Okay. So we have grilled cheese truck from Emma. That's a good one.
I'm going to steal your response and say abroad. I studied abroad in Florence and I every day think about like the adventures, the travels, my roommates. Like I think about it constantly because it was just such a formative part of my college experience. But other than that, I would just have to say Cougar football Saturdays. We love Cougar football and that is something I'm taking with me for life.
Yeah. You guys did a better football program.
Yeah, that's Washington State for Soph, and then IU for Emma.
I feel like we have to mention this as a fun fact. I just have to say that a lot of Sophie's I mean, not that her decision hinged on it whatsoever, but Bill Ukrapina had a large part of Sophie's experience at Washington State, I have to say.
Sophie?
This is a good story. This is a great story, actually. So when I was a senior in high school, I did not know where I wanted to go to college. I honestly didn't even know what I wanted to study. And then one day I was like, oh, I like to sew and I like clothes and all that. And I thought, how can I put my skills to be useful in society? And that's when I was looking into fashion programs. And one day I stumbled upon Washington State, and my mom goes, oh, Bill Ukrapina went there. And I was like, I didn't know that. She goes, you should talk to him. You should talk to him. So I talked to your dad and I said, hey, Bill, I'm thinking about Washington State. And he happened to be traveling there that weekend. He picked up a block of Cougar Gold cheese and a Washington State zip-up hoodie, brought it back to me and said, you're going to love Washington State. I will put you in contact with whoever you need to be in contact with. And I was like, okay, this is great. This is great. So I was messaging like all of the people he told me to talk to. And then we planned a trip up to Pullman, and Emma and my dad were there, and we spoke to the president of the Alumni Association, which is like one of your dad's good friends. And he was like, you're going to love it here, and kind of gave me the rundown. And then I just kind of really started to fall in love with it after visiting. And I think I made your dad's year, life, everything. Fast forward a couple years, I'm the president of my sorority, and I was out of the house at the time. And I didn't even know Bill was coming to town. And he knocks on my sorority house door. He goes into the first girl he sees and he goes, where's your president? And she's like, Sophie? I don't know, but I could text her. He's like, well, yeah, sure. I could just text her. And I was like, okay. So then he texts me, and then like an hour later, I like walk over back to the house and he's like, hey, how are ya? Wanted to see if you wanted to come to the Sigma Chi homecoming event. We're opening up a new house. I was like, I'll be there.
Yes. Did you go to the event?
I did. I felt like Bill's little college, I was on his arm. He was introducing me to all the people. I felt like a little princess. I was like, hello. And then he's like, well, if you don't know, this is the chapter president of Alpha Chi Omega. And I was like, I have never felt so important in my life. It was great.
That's amazing. So I hope I'm going to cut that and send that to my dad, because it's literally going to make his life.
Literally.
He's going to be so happy.
So I will forever have that with Bill Ukrapina. We're cougs together.
That's amazing. He does bring it up all the time. He's very proud of it. He's like, yes, Sophie Woodman, Washington State Cougar. That's how he talks about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paved the way for me. Like he made it happen.
Yeah, that's very, very kind. Okay, so then interesting question, because we all grew up in the same environment. So I'm doing a little case study here. How old were you when you had your first, not sip of alcohol, but when you actually first drank? Mine was my junior year of high school. I'll always remember we drank like 2 Heinekens each, and I thought I was hammered. I was with Joe Galley and some other Loyola dudes. And then I remember we were going to bed, and I was like, Joe, am I going to die? And he was like, no, you're going to be fine. And then I woke up and it was fine. And that kind of opened the floodgates.
Yeah. 2 beers. That's what it did.
2 beers. Maybe 2.5. I probably had a second, but then I probably like poured it out in the bathroom because I didn't want to get too drunk,
Like, ew. Oh
my God.
What was your...
What was what?
I'm trying to think. Why do I feel like with you, our relation, that was like the contingency of it was like our relationship dynamic changed. Like you were a narc, and then all of a sudden you turned 16, you're like, can you buy me a handle of vodka? And I was like, absolutely.
I was ready for that. It was like, I will be there. I will buy it.
I'd rather you buy it from me than like some rando. And, I was being safe. It was under,
so fair.
Protection.
So fair. I mean, my first, I remember like maybe I was 5, 6 years old. My dad drinks vodka. Out of juice glasses. So he puts like a shot of vodka in a juice glass. So it looks like water. So I like go up to my dad and I'm like, hey, is this water? He goes, yeah. So then I just go and take a big old gulp of it. It's like straight vodka. I'm like running to the sink. I'm like hosing my mouth out. And he goes, you're not going to do that again, are you? I was like, no. And that is such a good parenting lesson right there.
Yeah. I probably would say freshman year of high school. I was definitely an early starter, but I don't have like the specific memory. I also started weed early, strangely enough.
We'll cut that. Don't worry, we'll cut that.
Okay. All right, fine.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
420 friendly podcast.
It's legal. It's legal. Yeah, this is a PG-13 podcast. I'm kidding. No, it's legal.
It was
I get
illegal at the time. I was yeah. I was
Whoa,
living life
did you have
on
like
the edge.
a Pasadena dealer? Like, was there some dude who pulled up to the Woodman's house? How did that work?
Low key, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Whoa.
No, it was Green Street.
I mean, there were various,
The Green
yeah,
Street Park.
yeah, various places. You know, a sundry of places.
Yeah. I had various dealers. You know, whatever strain she was feeling.
That was the
Showing them
craziest
OG
I got.
Kush. Okay, so on the job front, this was Parent Trap.
Yeah,
Parent Trap, right?
So cut
We're shifting
to
gears.
Crazy Wild Drugs to now.
Yeah, well, that was a good transition by me. Thank you.
No,
I'm
for
a
sure.
professional podcaster.
It was great. It was well done.
So it's Parent Trap. You guys have to like switch for a week, and let's say you guys are twins in an alternate universe. Like, could you make it work?
This is a great question. I would be so lucky to be Emma Woodman for a week. Because
Ooh, okay. Let's hear it.
she is, handling celebrities. When I say handling, let's not look too much into it. I literally mean like, taking them around on carpets and going to fun
Dating
events
them.
and getting paid to do so. So I should be so lucky to be Emma for a week.
LOL. That's I love. Thank you. Well, first of all, that's very kind. Are you asking like who I would want to be switching with, or is my only option?
No.
Oh,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
only option?
No, it's the only option. I'm saying like you have to switch for a week. How would you guys do it? Because like now Emma, you're like designing stuff. Sophie, you need to tell me more about what you do and explain it. But I feel like you guys could do it. You're smart. You'd figure it out.
Like how we would do it. So like how I would have to like fake, because our skills wouldn't transfer is what you're saying. So like I would be.
You guys do very different things.
Right.
And
but you're
and
saying
you
like
date very
it would
different
be,
boys.
you're saying it would be like Sophie's skill set in my body and vice versa. Like she would be.
Yeah, I didn't quite think this all the way through. We're saying like.
Emma's overcomplicating this.
No.
We Parent Trap for a week.
Yeah, you Parent Trap.
Because Conrad's like, how would you do it? I'm like, Freaky Friday style where they like bonk heads or whatever.
No, I don't need the method of how it happens. It's happened. And
Okay,
now you need to be Sophie for a week. Like, what are you doing?
It happened. What am I doing? I'm going to take advantage.
Are you texting like one of her exes that you hate and being like, hey, get away from me forever?
Oh, no. I'm making as much stuff as possible. Okay, so if I'm going into her body, I'm sewing as much as possible. I'm going to make, because she makes bomb stuff. So I'd probably make myself like an entire outfit. I'd probably go to town.
Yeah.
I'd probably forget all of her regular duties and just focus on what I'm making myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
That. Good answer. It took us a minute, but we got there.
That was a good answer. Now, I feel like I have to ask the question, you could switch with anyone in the world for a day. Who would it be? That's a hard question. I haven't thought about that. Sophie, yes.
Stevie Nicks.
Horse.
Ooh.
I feel like she's lived so many lives. Like you would just enter. It would just be so much wisdom. Like I feel like I don't know. It's a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Stevie Nicks, 5'1". Just look that up.
5'1".
You're too tall. Yeah.
Important. Does she have siblings? Do you know, Sophie? Like
no, but I don't know. But you could be Christine McVie, R.I.P.
Looks like she has a brother.
Every life.
Yeah. Okay. So Sophie, Stevie Nicks. That's a good answer. Emma.
My gosh.
Tom Brady.
Oh, I mean, like, where do I mean? First thing this is whack, but like the first one that came into mind was Barbara Streisand, just because she's someone that I look up to. And she has a powerhouse voice. I don't know. I feel like that'd be dope. I'm trying to think of anyone else. But then I also feel like, I don't know, someone like a president or something would be fun.
Yeah.
If only there was a woman president.
Hey, someday. This is going to start your campaign. Well, I'm sure they'll show this video in like 20 years when you guys are running, and it'll be like a smear campaign.
There you go. Yeah. They're going to resurface this video. It's going to be from the dark depths of the internet.
We'll edit it out. I think I would do Timothée Chalamet, guys. He's so hot right now.
Okay, so you're going current. Okay.
I'm going current.
You're like...
I'm going current.
So you want to be an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dating Kylie Jenner?
Yeah.
He's like... That tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize though that Kylie Jenner does have 2 kids with Travis Scott. So like, do you think they would call me dad or not? I
think once you kind of earn your quote unquote stripe, like I think you'd get there. I think you'd get there eventually.
Yeah.
About this dynamic.
Yeah. I think that's right.
But you have to deal with Kris Jenner.
Okay, so yeah. Right, this thing.
Anyways.
No, I don't know. I don't know the Kardashian dynamics very well. I'm going to be honest. I probably should know about it better. Okay, so I know let's just go there. So how's dating in Los Angeles, guys? What are your thoughts? High level.
High level thoughts. So for you,
I know Emma has thoughts. We've talked about this.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I think meeting someone in the wild is like ideal, but I feel like where we're at right now in a society, it's like very heavily reliant on dating apps. And that's just where I'm at right now. I feel like it's a numbers game, you know? And like, we will see. Trying to put low pressure on a first date. I feel like that's key. You know what I mean? Putting just like no pressure on the first date and just realizing that it's either going to be great or B, for the plot. You know what I mean?
Totally. 80% of dating app users are men. Fun fact.
Yeah, I feel like girls struggle with dating apps. What were you going to say, so?
Just shocking, because I don't know. If there's 80%
I know it's
of
at least for Tinder. It's probably different for the other ones, but Tinder is like notorious for releasing their data.
I feel like it would be less on Hinge. I feel like it's definitely more. I feel like the percentage is different on Hinge. I feel like Tinder would be more male heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of.
And if someone is on Tinder, it's a huge red flag.
Right? And I don't know a lot of women on Tinder. I feel like it's mainly like Hinge, Raya, Bumble, if that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. For me, it's just like not my priority right now. Like, I feel like I'd have so many more thoughts if it was my priority, but like, it's just not, unfortunately. And, you know, if I meet somebody, great. If I don't, that's okay for right now, just because it's just not the priority. It's a boring answer, unfortunately. But I'm working, you know, doing things that I love, like sewing and prioritizing friends. So that's where I'm at.
Really, and also, you're younger. You have time. I mean,
I have so much time. I just have to keep telling myself that.
You do. You have time.
Totally.
You have time.
The thing about dating for me, with especially dating apps, to your point, is when they look at like speed dating, which I kind of equate on some level to dating apps, a study found that participants would make the choice of yes or no within 3 seconds. And so it's almost like if you're going on a first date, you should probably call them or do a FaceTime, because you don't want to sit down and then it's like 3 seconds in and you're like, shoot.
Yeah. That's also part of it too. Like, I feel like I could tell, like, I want to like message somebody or like FaceTime or have a phone call. It's always like if you are on dating apps, it's like you match with somebody. It's like, okay, let's go on a date. It's like, well, can I vet you first? Like, there's got to be a little bit of a vetting process that goes on here, because I'm not trying to waste my time and go, you know.
I agree. Yeah. But I also think there's a happy medium, because I also don't think you should reveal all of your cards like on that call. I think you need to keep it relatively brief. I mean, I don't think you need to like go into a lot of, I think make sure you're interested in a date and then cut it at 15-20 minute call. I'm just pro going and just see, but I'm also the girl, so it's like worst case scenario, I get a free drink. You know what I mean? It's not like
there's worse
besides like my safety and everything else, but like I make sure that people know my location. People.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. And so like the entertainment industry, what are the trends for me and Sophie as non-insiders? What do we need to know?
Well, fun fact, I did sign an NDA for my job, so I can't really.
Perfect. Break it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Break the NDA.
Yeah. But I mean, there are stories I can share with you offline, but yeah, I mean, in terms of like where things are going, I feel like the insider thing is just like, it's really all so digital heavy, like campaigns, like publicity, like marketing. For me, it's just really, I think we've talked about this before. It's just very heavily TikTok, social media. That's kind of like where the focus is going, and short attention spans are big. So we're playing into that a lot. And yeah, like movies like Wicked and Barbie are completely reshaping marketing campaigns. And what we kind of feel like will get the most eyes or like most, yeah, exactly. Like the most eyes essentially like on our film and our talent. And that's kind of it's just kind of shifting digital. So I would say that. I don't know, like if I thought about it, I would probably think of more, but yeah.
No, it's definitely interesting. They're just trying to get the most things that will be catchy on social media, right? Barbie, Wicked. I feel like I saw those all over social media.
And by the way, like even down to just Margot's looks were a marketing campaign in itself. Like every look she was caught in was captured, and that was like a moment. So
yeah,
that's
no, that's a really good answer. And then Sophie, same question to you, but in like the fashion world. 2 questions. 1, what do you think of current state of fashion? And 2, how often do you use the word chuggy?
Yeah, chuggy, that's the Gen Z thing right there, right? It's only when it's absolutely necessary, which unfortunately sometimes it really is necessary because a lot of things are just a little bit chuggy. But the state of fashion is definitely, everything is skewing more sustainable, and people are realizing the impact that fast fashion and the rate at which we purchase and discard is not sustainable for the planet that we live on. And so I think that everybody's taking a more sustainable approach going forward, whether it's in practice, which I hope it is in practice, or whether it's in, unfortunately, there's greenwashing where people say that their practices are good when they're really not good. And so I think what I at least hope is that people are looking into what they're buying, where it's coming from, and buy pieces that you love and that will stick with you forever, rather than something that's super trendy that lasts a season and then it's out and you're throwing it away. Or if something doesn't service you anymore, like find people like me that will make it into something that you can continue to wear forever. And that's what I love to do for my friends, is like, instead of throwing it away, let's repurpose it. Let's use the fabric, make something fit you better so that you don't feel like you need to buy something new. So that's what I preach. And I hope that that is the way of the world going forward.
Yeah, I get that. I think that I can't do the baggy pants.
Are you a skinny jean
I just
guy?
can't pull it off.
I noticed that.
Does that mean I'm not fashionable?
You cuff your pants.
No, I stopped that.
Okay.
Wait, can I explain myself really quick? Okay. Because I got feedback on this.
Please do.
I had one really good friend in New York. His name was Paul Tupper. He's very fashionable, good looking dude. And he, over the summer, would cuff his pants. And I was like, wow, this guy is a really cool guy. I want to do that. And then I started doing it and no one said anything. And then I moved from New York to LA and I kept doing it and everyone hated it in LA. I got so much feedback.
Maybe it's a New York thing.
It also, I think it depends the shoe. It depends the look. Like, if you're just cuffing a pant to cuff a pant, like, there needs to be a line. But if it's like an intentional cuff to like go with a little sneaker.
Yeah. What if it's Sophie, what if it's summer? Okay. And you're wearing like a Van. Can you cuff?
Yes. Are we wearing socks with the hands? I think there's a lot of places in which this could go wrong. Like if we're wearing, a no-show sock, I prefer a little cuff, but then if we're wearing like ankle socks, like we don't need to see the ankle socks, but also no-show socks are a little bit icky. So I don't know. But I get a cuff for like, if we're going for like a greaser vibe, like if you're rolling up your t-shirt, if there's a cigarette behind your ear, like, I don't know. No, but it's gotta be the right vibe.
Yeah. Dang, I need to get a cigarette.
Yeah, and you don't even have to smoke it. Just put it behind your ear. People will think you're super cool.
Yeah. That is a very LA thing to do.
So baggy pants, I feel like we need to circle back to this. Do you find baggy pants, like what's the male perspective on baggy pants on girls? Because I think that's like a big trend that is with women right now. But I feel like, okay, I'll let you answer that.
I will start and I'll announce this to the internet. I am not a fan of baggy pants. I know, I'm sorry. It's just, I didn't grow up with them. I think girls in baggy pants can look incredibly attractive and it's fashionable and I get it. Like you go, Glen Coco, but I think it'd be more attractive if they weren't wearing baggy pants. Don't kill me, Sophie.
Do you feel like that's the general male consensus?
Yes, for sure.
Interesting.
Hey, and the comments, we're going to post this on TikTok and this is going to go viral and everyone's going to be like, fuck you, Conrad. But that's just my take.
Yeah. there needs to be some clarification here. Are we talking skinny jean, like straight to ankle?
No, I'm just saying when a girl wears like really baggy jeans, I don't personally find it attractive.
But what if
like
it's
the
low
really
rise?
baggy,
like low rise?
low rise. I'm doing that. Low rise jeans.
What about
low rise are chill.
fit and flare?
Flare jeans.
Like a bell bottom.
Like the bell bottom. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. You know what I'm talking about. There's like people, men and women, who wear the really baggy jeans that are just like very baggy, and I don't personally find that incredibly attractive.
I feel like as long as there's proportion, right? Like, so if you're low rise and you're baggy, but then you're showing a little bit of ab, like that'll, you know what I mean? Not saying
that's hot.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Fair for fashion at large. Like if you have a baggy pant, it's good to do something more slim fit on top. Or if you have a tighter pant, you could do a little more oversized on top. It's all about contrast. It's all about...
But I will say that women dress for women more than women dress for men, which is different. We'll take your opinions in consideration. Cool. We're still going to do our thing. Okay?
100%.
Yeah.
As you should.
It means so much more to me when a woman compliments my outfit than when a man does. I'm so sorry, but that's just the truth. Like if a woman, and women are so nice too, like if a woman comes up to me, she's like, you look so beautiful. I love your outfit. I'm like, day made. This is great. I love it. A guy's like, I like your outfit. I'm like, cool. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. You know, like, doesn't quite the same.
Same for me. If a girl compliments my outfit, and that will make my day. And I started wearing rings. I have like 2 rings. I think we've talked about this when I moved to LA. Alex Mack told me to wear them. Shout out Alex Mack. And I wore them. And the first time I wore them, a girl came up to me and said, I like your rings. And I was like, I'm wearing these forever now.
There you go.
It's real.
Girls know.
Everyone just wants women's approval. That's all we want, guys.
So
everyone.
That's an interesting segue. So, because I always struggle with approaching in person. And I feel like a lot of like people tell me just like go compliment a guy. So like something like that, would that work? Like you're like sold, like she complimented my rings.
I think yes. Okay. It's so rare that a girl would do that, in my opinion, that it would absolutely catch my eye in terms of you being confident and you just being nice and approachable. If someone came up to me and said anything nice to me and you're a good looking girl, I love you.
Noted.
I mean, like that's...
I'm just saying, no one does it. And if I came up to you guys, I didn't know you guys, and you're eating, dinner at Owa in Venice, and I say, hey, like, I love your hair. Most people be like, wow, that was creepy. Yeah. Maybe not if you say it the right way.
Right. It has to be that it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's a fine line.
It's tricky.
It's a fine line. And I feel like you have to just kind of focus on just being in the same proximity and then sort of like then gradually making some quip. And then like a hard launch into a compliment is hard.
Yeah.
I feel like you sort of have to have something prior.
What about this for a campaign that I'm starting? So wedding ring, left finger, I'm taken ring, right finger. And that way we're at the bar, if someone's single, and then you can go up to them and hit on them and you're not being creepy and they won't say, I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
So then flat ring?
So then
I don't know. Yeah, people are like, oh, that's like a promise ring.
And you can't wear rings on either of your ring fingers if you're single?
If you subscribe to the Conrad rule of being hit on in the wild, yes.
But then, I mean, it makes sense.
It's just a thought.
Is that a claddagh ring, Sophie?
Yeah, actually, it's a Celtic tradition where people will purchase claddagh rings, which look like this. And if they're flipped upside down, it means that you're not in love. And then if you flip it the right side over, it means that you are in love. So that is how Celtic men and women can tell.
Basically, everyone should just adopt this. Just go get a claddagh ring, okay?
That's good. This solves the problem, though. Because I'll see if someone's in love, then, I can keep moving.
Exactly. Just look at the direction of the claddagh ring.
Heart, where the heart faces.
Yeah. And so next Friday, I'm throwing a picture friend party. You guys should come. Really quick, how it works is you make a short PowerPoint presentation about why someone should date your friend, and then you pitch them. Okay. And then there's a bunch of singles at the party. And we'd love for you guys to come. And at the party, we're doing the cups where it's like taken, single, cool. It's complicated, whatever. Like the colored cups.
I'm my friend.
100%. And you can pitch each other.
Are there any 24 to 27-year-olds?
Yes.
Okay.
Some. There'll be a couple. It'll be mostly like later 20, early 30s. But Sophie, you can bat up, right?
Oh, she can bat up.
What's that supposed to mean? I was trying to think of what the term would be, like date someone older. I don't know.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I'll get on some message boards and invite some 24-year-old dudes.
Just make sure they're like vetted first, you know?
For sure.
It needs
For
to
sure.
be.
Well, I'm in this group called The Bachelors.
Okay.
It's like 75 single dudes.
Oh yeah, did you get any responses on that, by the way? I'm like on your 100-long email, like recruiting.
Oh, yeah. Did you get my email? I need to add you, Sophie. There's this thing called The Bachelor's Ball. It's on April 4th. It's happened since 1905. We rent out the Beverly Hilton, and every table has a theme. Would love your thoughts on my theme. It's iced out. So we're going to wear black, look super hot, and then have like jewelry and stuff. And then I'm getting an ice luge, and I'm giving everyone Smirnoff ices.
Okay.
So we're going to like ice everyone at the other tables. And it's going to be funny.
It's like
Very
Dwayne
fun.
No, well, yeah.
You're burying the lead here, Conrad. How much it is to just enter?
It's expensive. It's expensive. It's an expensive party. But
Sophie, I would have gone if it wasn't for that caveat.
Okay,
well, my plan is I'm going to sell my company next year, and then I'll pay for everyone forever because I'm going to be single forever, and so I'll be going to this party.
Conrad.
You leave the Bachelors when you get married,
But we don't want that for you. We want you to not be single.
but it'd be better for you going to the Bachelor's ball
That's
if
so
I was single.
true. And pending this podcast making it big, then you can pay for our tickets.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll use the pod money. That's what I'm planning in 2026. That's what this podcast is for. It's really a Bachelor's Ball GoFundMe.
I'm so about it. That's great.
Yeah, same. Okay, any other topic you guys want to hit on before we get into the speed round?
Speed round.
I feel like we've covered a lot.
Any thoughts? Any boy things or Sophie? Any, I don't know,
I'm currently
light thing?
sort of in this like weird in between of like when I don't know, I'm just rolling with the punches, but I'm going on a third date, so we'll see how it goes. Feeling optimistic, but also you never know. I'm sort of like in that weird limbo stage of like, what happens?
Yeah. Can I say something kind of rude?
Sure. And we can cut it if
I feel like every time I talk to you, you're in this stage with a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't mean that in a bad way.
so mean, Conrad.
I would just, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, chat. I didn't mean it.
No. I think it's the same one from when I last saw you.
That's probably what it is. It's the recency because we talked about this at your birthday.
Yeah. Same guy.
Okay, there you go. Then that's okay. Then I was totally wrong. Then it's one guy.
I mean, it's
Should we get him on the pod?
no.
Well, we could just do a dual pod. It'll be me and Sophie, and we'll interview you and him.
Okay, yeah.
If he makes it through that, he will date you.
There
He
you
will
go.
either crash and burn, or he'll be like, yeah, I'm very in.
There you
So
go.
true. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your method? Are you just like, do you just play it cool and let them totally come to you? Or would you ever shoot your shot and say, hey, I'm free on Saturday. Let's do something?
I shot my shot. Like I reached out first.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, so this was all me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Did you tell him about your fantasy football team?
of course. But I'm like entering 30. I'm trying to like be comfortable and be uncomfortable. So I'm trying to like do more of that, do more of the approaching. So we'll see.
I think that's awesome for the record.
She's in a new era.
I'm in a new era. Yes.
Yep. She's in her era. Sophie, anything else?
Think so. I don't know.
Perfect. No, well, okay. So we're going to go to the speed round. I'm going to ask a quick question and then try your best to answer with a one-word answer. Okay. Morning or night? We're starting easy.
Night.
That's hard.
Actually, no, morning.
Damn. Drama.
Morning? No, I don't know.
I want night, but I'm morning.
Okay. Pasadena or Santa Monica?
Pasadena.
This Pasadena.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains. Is there a lake nearby?
Nope. It's just beach or mountains. No clarifying questions. Vintage or modern?
What?
Vintage or modern?
Vintage.
Nice. Heels or sneakers? Comfortable shoes?
Sneakers.
Hot. Dating apps or in the wild?
In the
I think I
wild.
know the answer to this one.
In the wild.
That's the dream.
Yep.
That's ideal. Are you kidding me? That's ideal.
Best excuse to leave a date if it's not going well?
IBS.
she is the IBS girly, so that's not like a lie, technically.
Raising awareness.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
IBS. I mean, I don't know. I would sadly just...
Yeah, that's fair. Just so you say
too
peace.
Nice. She's too nice.
You're too nice. You're too nice. Speaking of, what's your ick in a guy?
Just try to avoid tying your jacket around your waist.
That plays.
Waiting in lines.
Yeah.
What?
Meaning,
Men aren't
but that just means it.
lie?
I don't
But
know.
that's just for a date, right? It's just if you're on a date and you have to wait in a line, right?
No, I just like, I don't know. It's not like a bad ick. Just sort of like a, okay, you're waiting in a line.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of anything else right now. Those little socks. And I said it before, the little socks that don't have ankles on them. Just little.
Where you can barely see the sock. Yeah.
It's really.
What's the key there? Just don't wear socks if you're wearing like common projects.
That's the problem. Is also no socks is also gross.
Oh, so you just have to wear not common projects or long socks with them.
The solution, Conrad, is get baggy jeans.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to Rag and Bone tomorrow.
There's something about flip-flops. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not, I'm not like a fan. So it's just like,
I've heard that one a lot.
Is the
What?
slide better?
but I don't know. It's something about the feet. Maybe I have a weird thing with feet. I don't know.
I'd prefer a Croc.
It's a very Silver Lake thing of you to say.
Okay, yeah.
The
I
Silver
live in
Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know.
Continuing the speed run, this is a two-parter.
Okay.
yeah.
Best city and best bar to go out in LA.
City.
I think Venice is overrated at this point. Sorry. I'm probably going to go
Okay.
Silver Lake or West Hollywood. Yeah.
Silver Lake, Echo Park.
I feel like West Side is, don't get me wrong, like the West Side is like, I frequent, but it's just, the scene is never, it's the same old scene and it's young frat guys.
Overrated.
And there's not much diversity, you know? So yeah. I think I would go more east. West Hollywood is also a vibe.
You see, we're bad at speed / one-word answers. We're not good at that.
No, you're doing great.
No,
you're
we're
doing
not.
great. I really like Desert 5 in Hollywood.
I
Desert
keep
Five.
saying Desert 5. Let's go. You went without me. It's fine.
We're going on Friday. Let's go.
Go.
We should all go. Okay. Would you rather do a first date that's just a walking date or go to Chuck E. Cheese?
You date.
Can it be Dave and Buster's instead of Chuck E.
Yeah.
Then
I'll give you Dave and Buster's.
Oh, Dave and Buster's.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
fine.
I don't like Chuck E. Cheese. Okay.
No, I know.
It's
I
like-
was trying to be ridiculous.
Okay.
I'm established. I'm a younger child that gets sick easily. I don't need to be in Chuck E. Cheese.
Well,
Yeah.
also, we have a thing with the mascots. Someone underneath those, like, Sophie, you have a phobia.
That is my biggest fear. I don't like. See, now this is going to come back to haunt me because I've spoken it into the world. My biggest things in masks, like if
Yeah.
you're wearing a mask or like mascots, like I'm sorry, but Mickey Mouse is terrifying. Like it's just scary and I don't know who's under there and I don't need to know. I just need to get the hell out.
A walk date
Yeah.
is great, though. Next question.
Great. Next question. Which is worse for a man who you're dating, him saying bro or dude a lot?
I think I'd rather be a dude than a bro.
But they're bad, but sure. Dude.
Okay. Last question. Before a first date, FaceTime or call?
I can be avoidant. So a nice text.
There you go. A nice text. And then bonus question. How do you feel about DMs? When guys DM you, what are your general thoughts? If it's done in a nice, polite way, not in a creepy way.
I'd be open to it, but rarely has a non-creeper slid into the DMs.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's like playful banter and not like creepy, like, let me take you out, like, that's fine. But more often than not, it's not.
Yeah. My DM is usually, hey, ex so-and-so, I saw you on Raya, or I saw you're friends with my friend. I just moved to LA and would love to get a coffee sometime. And like 10% of the time people respond.
Decent. I mean,
Yeah. If I send, 1,000 of those, that's 100 dates, right? Statistically.
right. You love statistics.
I love statistics. I love
Me too.
statistics. Okay, well, guys, this has been awesome. Before we go, your soapbox, what's one last thing you want to share with the world in anything? You can talk about anything. Everyone is listening. And then we'll
Everyone.
sign off. Chris Hanna's probably listening.
Christopher.
Quick Chris Hannah shout out. Love you, Chris.
I was going to say, I love our Thanksgiving Garage Games crew.
Yeah.
Me too. Great squad.
Good hang, good hometown crew. Run it back. Love to all. That's my
good words.
I think that's a great sign off.
Perfect. Woodman sisters, thank you for coming on. You guys are awesome. Huge thanks to lifespark.bio for sponsoring today's episode. Check them out and get your swimmers right. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a review. I know it's cringe saying that, but someone who does like a social media told me to say it, so I'm saying it. And not that works. Anyways, Woodmans, thank you so much. I will see you on Lambert Drive.